I'm here with the renewable resources activist, Tony Attard.
How long have you been working on improving the environment?
Well, it's been a long battle. I've been involved with, I live in Brisbane, and Brisbane is nestled in San Bruno Mountain. And the Battle of San Bruno Mountain has been going on for about 35 years. Most of it got saved.
Since you were about 25?
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a long battle. Yeah.
What's the name of your group?
The name of the group is called Renewable, Committee for Renewable Energy for the Baylands.
What are the Baylands?
The Baylands originally was the bay that got filled in by the San Francisco Scavenger Company. They filled in 600 acres of the bay in front of Brisbane. And the bay then became the Baylands once it was filled in.
Oh. Are there any problems with residual chemicals and stuff in the garbage?
In the 60s, when they filled in the bay, it was unregulated. What went into the garbage, went into the garbage. What they do now, they top it with soil. And the Baylands has about 20 to 30 feet of soil on top of the garbage fill.
Oh, it's already been placed.
It's already been placed there.
Who owns that land?
The owner of the Baylands now is Universal.An. It's a Taiwanese company.
Oh.
Would you describe the Bayland map we're looking at?
Yeah, Baylands essentially the Baylands is a toxic dump site because it was unregulated, and it sits in front of the city of Brisbane, and it's approximately 600 acres. And from Brisbane's lagoon to the San Francisco border, it's approximately 600 acres.
What's Cribble's hope for the Baylands?
What we're hoping for is clean energy production. You know, there's 600 acres, there's something for everybody there. And on the northern part, towards the San Francisco border, we're proposing clean energy production, wind power, and solar power. To produce clean, renewable energy, which would then go back to the grid. It's always been a problem, the power is being produced in one area, and running the transmission lines, which are very, very expensive, to the power generation grid where the power is going has always been very, very expensive. But in this case, the Baylands, the northern part, where we're proposing wind power and solar power clean energy production, is across the road from the PG&E Martin substation, which means they wouldn't have to run these long transmission lines. We have had a wind tower up for nearly 2 years now.
Who put it up?
Actually, the city of Brisbane and Universal.An.
Oh.
We got them to do it. And after a 2-year study, the wind is about 10 miles an hour, which isn't quite enough for commercial use with the old technology of the old bird-killing blades that they use in Altamont. Now, fortunately, technology has changed so dramatically. We have what we describe as vertical access windmills, kind of like, if you will, 8-beaters that spin like this. And they are very bird-friendly, and they operate on less wind.
So how much energy would be produced, hopefully, by the wind, and how much by
the solar?
Solar.
Well, altogether, we estimate about 75% of Brisbane's needs can produce with a combination of solar a solar farm and a wind farm in the northern portion of the Baylands. And that's quite significant.
And does Brisbane actually benefit from that? Because does the energy go there or other places?
The energy that would be produced would return back to the grid, and that all would be worked out eventually between the city and the landowners. How much credit Brisbane individual residents were hoping for would get credit for this energy that we are producing.
So Paradigm is willing to work with you to make a better place then.
They are indeed, because they can either lease their land to PG&E or sell it so that we can have the clean energy production on the northern part of the Baylands. We're looking at about 100 acres that we will need for this clean energy production. And our intent all along was to lessen our dependency on oil and coal. Both are very dirty and both are very polluting. And if we're able to do this, Brisbane will be in the forefront of cities to do this clean energy production. And so close to San Francisco, it's amazing.
Well, it looks like Cribble is doing a lot of good work. How did Cribble come into existence?
Well, actually, originally, a person named Anya Miller, when she heard about Universal Paragon's intent to build on the Baylands, she had the idea of, you know, there's 600 acres, there's something for everybody there, and we in Brisbane should benefit for this kind of development, which would be quite significant. And so she got actually the idea originally for a windmill farm. And I heard about this, and I joined forces with Anya Miller. And after the wind studies, we were a little disappointed that the average wind speed wasn't quite enough under the older technology. But then the solar concept came into play, which we brought on too. And so the combination of solar and wind is what we're pushing for. And so many people in Brisbane liked our idea of clean energy production for the Baylands by a solar farm and a wind farm. And that's how Cribble, Committee for Renewable Energy, grew so strong. And we have the ear of the city very, very much so, and PG&E and Universal Paragon all coming together and trying to come up with some result.
Who's collecting and analyzing the scientific information that's coming from this?
Well, actually, the city of Brisbane it has a monitoring system, and not only does the wind tower, I believe it's 270 feet, not only does the wind tower measure the wind, but it also measures the sun, how much sun for the day it gets, an average sun.
But I understand there's an Oakland organization or business that is helping to collect that information.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Yes, it was the group is called Energy Solution, and what they do is once these figures are accumulated with the studies, they analyze and make reports which will be submitted to PG&E on what we expect with clean energy production from wind and solar. And Energy Solutions' job is to analyze all this data and put it together in a package to be presented.
Now, I noticed, I'd seen a picture of your yard with the pinwheels, and I've seen pinwheels on literature from Cribble. Can you tell me the story of how a pinwheel became your symbol?
Yes. Actually, once I understood that Anya Miller was pushing for the the windmills for the Bayland, it just sort of reminded me of those sweet little pinwheels that spin around in the breeze and are very colorful. And it didn't take much wind at all to turn those little colorful windmills, little pinwheels around as they spin. And also those pinwheels catch the sun and catch the light from the sun, and the color reflects very, very, very nicely. And I thought, what a nice logo a pinwheel would be. So that's how we came about using our pinwheel as our logo, our symbol of our effort for clean renewable energy.
Well, wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the Baylands?
No, I think we pretty much covered it all. I will say that it's certainly an ongoing process, and I'm just so grateful that many residents in Brisbane are behind us in our efforts to bring clean energy production to Brisbane, well, and get us off of oil and coal as much as possible.
Thank you very much, Tony Attard.
Thank you.